All right. Hi, everybody. Happy holiday Monday. I figured I would jump on and do something a little bit different today to share it's a new month. So that means sharing my dividends, which I normally do as a video, but I figured it'd be a good time to jump on a live. It's a holiday. I don't know how many people. I'm going to assume hopefully everybody has it off today and had a good long weekend so far, and maybe today just relaxing at home and able to jump on the live stream. So if you have any questions, we'll jump in. But what I'm going to do today is to share my July dividends. Can't believe it's July already. And I also found a spreadsheet. I've been saying for a while, if you've been watching the channel, I'm saying I got to keep track of these better on a spreadsheet. So I actually found a spreadsheet. I tweaked it a little bit, really kind of dumbed it down. It's very basic, but what I'll do is I will share it. It is on a Google Docs. And I will create another video just to kind of outline it, and I'll leave a link to it once I get it. But I have to kind of take some data off of my own stuff because obviously you want to have plug in your own. But I'll share my spreadsheet and share how the dividends did for the month of July. So if you have questions as we're going here, let's just jump in. Feel free. I've got my coffee, and we will just jump right through this. So let's pull up the spreadsheet. And there we go. So what I've done is, this is just a basic dividend tracker, and I took off a lot of the other tabs on this one. I found this one online, and I really just kind of condensed it down to what I think I'll find useful in keeping track for myself, and broke it down to basically just a yearly dividend tracker. Then when the year rolls over, I'll just make a copy and carry on for the next year. And I did do a few tweaks. It wasn't totaling up the total for the it wasn't totaling up the total of the year. It was just basically going down in quarters. So what I'll probably do is do a full year here and do the total by the end of the year. But that's okay. Gives us a nice little graph and shows us what we're doing. But let's just go through. If you've been following along the channel, you know I've shared videos of each month the dividends. So this is actually really nice to see in one place how they're increasing. So in July, let's just jump right to July. I'll break down each individual stock that I did receive a dividend. Now, this spreadsheet doesn't let me input individual stocks to total them up, but what you get to do is use your app or online with Wealthsimple and just drill down to your TFSA or wherever your dividends are coming in, and you have to just total them up manually with a calculator. Not too hard to do if you're only doing it once a month. So that's handy. But we'll just go through. I'll just let you know. So the grand total, spoiler I guess, but the grand total for the month of July was 33.43, and that's actually the most dividends I've received so far in my portfolio, which is really nice and awesome to see. So it is growing. So listen, I got it saved here, what I received actually in the month of July. So in the beginning of July 4th, Telus paid $5.46. BTC.Y, that's the Bitcoin Yield Index ETF, that was $2.48. That one was down a little bit. People are always kind of curious on what that one pays, but that one was down this month. REI, the RioCan Real Estate Investment Trust, July 8th, $2.13. VFV paid a dividend as well. That one is a $8.43, and VDY paid $8.17. Now the VFV, that's the Vanguard S&P. That one is quarterly dividends, where the VDY is monthly. A few people have asked that. So VDY is monthly. And July 15th, the Slate Office REIT, $3.33. And the last one gets paid at the end of every month was the TransAlta Renewables, $3.13. So grand total, $33.43. But if we scroll down here, we can see our total for 2022 for the whole year, 157.39. So that's pretty great. That's all been reinvested back into the portfolio. But the spreadsheet also breaks it down by quarters. So we're obviously in the third quarter right now, and yeah, we're on track for, I think, a decent, okay year. I'm pretty happy with that. And that is kind of it. And then what the spreadsheet will also do is gives us a little graph so we can kind of know where we are. We're improving now. Obviously, it's going to be higher up. You can see the quarterly ones when they bounce in there. It's obviously going to make a difference to the chart, but it's nice to see, and we're seeing that grow, which is nice because every month we're almost kind of increasing a little bit. Obviously, if you see the quarterly ones that come through the higher months, but we're going to see now, because we have it in one place somewhere, that we can actually see that our portfolio is growing. It's sometimes to get lost in the shuffle of Wealthsimple. They don't have the greatest necessary reporting on their self-managed reports other than going in and drilling on yourself. You don't get actually like a good breakdown of how things are improving. So we keep an eye on it. So hopefully you found that useful. I will, like I said, for this tracker, very simple. There is a whole bunch of trackers online. Some of them are more complicated than others, and I found this one works well for me just because it's simple. It'll track what I wanted to track, and some of the other ones that I found with additional input and information, you would have to put in individual stocks and how much you purchased and what the costs were. It does a lot more tracking for you. But what I find is these things are only as good as you're willing to put into it. And I just know myself that I wouldn't keep on top of it. I just wanted something simple that can track the monthly dividends, to be able to share, but then be able to track it for myself to go through there. I just know there's some of those other spreadsheets are just the information. You get good information out of it if you put good information into them. And I know I would fall apart in keeping that one up to date, and just kind of feel a bit too overwhelmed with having to add into that. But I know a lot of people, there's some definitely more technical ones out there. But if you want, like I said, I will share another video, and I will share a link to this on Google Docs. It'll be free. It's just so if you want to grab it, you just need a Google Docs account, and you can pull that out. I think you can even download it as an Excel if you wanted to, but this is handy because can edit it all online. And that's that one. Now let's remove. Other than that, market's closed today, so I think it's nice to not have to pay attention. And I think we had a good. If you were following through, I shared a video on Friday, which was the recap, obviously, of the week. And it's a good week, and I've been watching a few other YouTubers sharing their portfolio, and everybody's having a good week and a good month. So that's kind of nice to see. I did read on the news that it's like the best month, I think, since 2020 at some point. I forget what month, but I did read that in the news. So it's always nice to see. It's nice to see the portfolio. Your decisions you make. I haven't made obviously really all great decisions with things that I've invested in, or timing and everything else. But I think it took me a couple years to get kind of happy with where I am and with the portfolio that I have in terms of slowly adding into that. Took a little bit of time, but I think and it's nice to see over, since, because we obviously have been following along, the last few months haven't been the greatest for anybody's portfolio, but it's nice to see that, not making any rash decisions and selling and panicking. It's nice to kind of know, we all know this happens. Everything comes back, everything carries on, life carries on, and it's a good chance. There's a lot of people I know get a lot of comments that a lot of people love it because it is down. If you think about that, I think of my long-term goal on this, with what this portfolio is for retirement, and I'm not retiring for years and years and years, at least a decade, more than a decade. So these hopefully small little blips in the market is an opportunity, I think, for me to be able to add in when you can. And again, I'm not putting all my eggs in any one basket, and not putting anything in that I'm possibly going to need in the future. Just slowly, steady, building it up. And it's nice to see it finally grow. I think we ended the week, it was just over the $10,000 mark, which is kind of a nice milestone. And it's just a bit of reassurance that things are working. So that was my take on last week. So let me know if anybody has any questions about the spreadsheet. Now, does anybody use any kind of spreadsheet? If you're watching this, there's a few people watching. Welcome, but definitely leave me a comment, a question if you use any type of spreadsheet. Where did you find it? What do you use? Do you just do nothing, and like I did for the longest time? It'd be nice to see what people think on their portfolios. I really, really wish that Wealthsimple would give a bit better reporting on their self-managed, but I guess it's free, so you can't complain, right? It doesn't cost anything to trade in if it's Canadian accounts, and you can't blame them for not giving possibly better reporting if it's free. It's nice to sometimes have a fancy spreadsheet printed out for you and sent every quarter, but they just don't do that with their self-directed. I know on the invest side they have better statements that you can actually view, but I figure if it's free, you keep your eye on it yourself. I guess that's the whole idea as well. But so hopefully that. Other than that, markets are still open in the States, so I think it's doing okay today. I haven't really looked. It's nice not to look and not have to worry and check your portfolio. I actually saved, like with the dividends, I actually saved them in my phone prior to the weekend. So I actually haven't even looked yet. So that's kind of nice to not have to worry. And it was nice to end on a Friday and be in a good, decent position. Rest of the dividends come through. It's always nice to get that email from Wealthsimple saying, hey, you've got dividends in your account and you can go and reinvest. So that's what I'll be doing as when the market opens back up again. I usually go as they come in. I don't know if everybody else has the same kind of process, but usually what I'll do is once they come in, I usually get them back into some type of investment fairly quickly. I like to hopefully be able to have done a deposit so I can at least buy like another share of whatever the investment is. And a lot of them I'm not quite up there to get that yet. BTC almost, the Slate office REIT almost, but like obviously some of the stocks are, if I'm getting a dividend from VDY, it's not going to cover $40 something to buy one stock. Now you can do the fractional shares. I just haven't yet. I said it before, I should probably just start to roll those dividends into fractional shares if I'm able to. That's probably, I keep saying it, but I never get around to do it. I usually kind of just try and make a deposit if I can and add an entire share, which kind of helps out growing the portfolio and saves, I don't know, something about having a fractional share. It just kind of looks weird, I guess. I don't know, but that's just me. But that's all I had to share. If you have any questions on the channel, let me know. It's always nice to have. I've had a lot of people kind of joining in the last little while, so welcome. I know there's some new people. I don't know if people are watching, but it's nice to have the channel growing. There's a few people that are rooting for 1,000, including me, and it's almost there. We're growing slow and steady, much like the portfolio. So, Adam, good comment. That's exactly. It feels incomplete. Yeah, I guess it's kind of. It's just me. So it's yeah. Maybe I'm not the only one. Then it's just kind of. I think it's for me partly. I mean, you could do it. Sure, nothing wrong with it, right? And especially with some of the shares that get quite expensive, because you can't always, afford or have something to put in. You're better off putting what you can as opposed to having to wait. You're better off to, at dollar cost average with fractional shares. Nothing wrong with that. But it kind of forces me. I kind of do it to kind of force me to, save a little bit more and not spend on something else to be able to buy the full share. That's just me. And July was best month, $139. That's awesome, Hunter. Well, congratulations. So July was the best month for a lot of people. It was my best month. So that's great. Yeah, that's good to hear. It's nice to see that it's when you have a good month, you kind of just, it's reassuring to know you're on hopefully the right track and you're kind of doing things right. So that's great. Hopefully it can keep improving. That would be nice, right? It's never easy. It's a long game, but that's awesome. Best month. So anybody else have their best month? Let me know in the comments. That's great. It'd be nice to have $139. Now, Hunter, how do you reinvest your dividends? Do you put it in, do you put it back in the stocks that you get it from, or do you put it in another one, or what's your plan with that? I mean, $139, you can do quite a bit with that. You could definitely buy, well, not everything, but you could have a good, you could have a bit of fun with that. That'd be nice. That's almost kind of, I mean, I kind of put about $200 a month into my TFSA last month. So that's almost what I may put in. That's great. Oh, Rod, welcome. Thank you. I was a bit surprised too with last week, but with everything, it was more than I thought, but down this week. So yeah, the oil is down. So I guess it's coming into, I don't have so energy stocks, yes. I'm not big into oil. I have more renewable, and they've actually been doing okay. So I've been happy about that. The oil, I saw that today. I was reading through the news, it's down, and a bit on Twitter. So I guess that's, I mean, again, I'm not, an economist or an investment advisor, anyways. But how I kind of see it, I think, from what I kind of and things I've been reading, is I think inflation is definitely it's here, but I think we've hit that. I think we've hit that at the top, and I think we'll start to see things come down a little bit with everything. So that obviously with gas coming down, like I was out driving yesterday, went up to the grocery store, and like gas was just looking at the sign. I don't drive a ton, so I don't fill up I don't have to commute to work. So I don't drive. I mean, I'm paying attention, but not really paying attention as much as if I was filling my car up every week. But it was down from the peak that I noticed. It was down like 30 cents almost. I think it was. It's under. I think it was $1 here. I mean, I'm in BC, so the Lower Mainland. It's expensive for gas. It was $1.91, I think, but a month ago or whatever, it was over $2, and I think it was close to $2.19 or 20 cents. So, I think we might see people. Hopefully, I mean, I think we're in the peak of that, so we might see equity start to come up. It's going to really depend. I mean, obviously, what's been getting hit though is, like, if you've been watching, like, a lot of the tech has been getting hit. Shopify, I don't own it. I always thought it was kind of crazy. I don't really get Shopify, but I mean, they're laying off people. But again, if you're looking at reading earnings and stuff like Apple, this is why everything's doing great. Like Apple was up, Amazon. So there's obviously stuff still happening. We'll see. And old vacuum cleaner with dividends. There you go. Vacuums are expensive. Yes. Buy a good one. Hopefully you bought a good one. That'll hopefully last you. It's never fun to buy stuff like that though. It's like having to buy a new fridge or appliance. It's not really fun. It's just kind of like, oh, I got to pay that to buy this. I want more fun money. And natural gas, yeah. So you've seen, Rod, you've seen my portfolio, Greenlane with the renewable natural gas. It interests me. I think it should be good, especially with what's going on in Europe and stuff. But the thing with natural gas, like if you read, we're just like anything with energy, we're so behind the curve with getting any like infrastructure built for this stuff. So it's going to be, when you say natural gas is going to be hot, it's probably going to be expensive too, like no pun intended. But I think there's maybe some opportunity with some of these natural gas companies for sure, and energy companies. Possibly, I mean, maybe in the next 5 years or so, I'm hoping Greenlane Renewables will make me some money, but we'll see how that goes. And Hunter's been buying Bird Construction, $7.30 a share. I haven't heard of Bird Construction. Is that, Hunter? Is that like early? Is that like I remember that old hardware store, Early Bird, but I don't think that's it. So I'm not really sure. I'll have to look that one up. I'll mark that one down and definitely look that up. I was reading, I was thinking of things to buying, and you start to research these things, but then what happens is you start to kind of think like, I mean, Rod, you're saying natural gas is going to be hot this year. You're thinking Hunter's buying these construction companies. Then I was a bit on Twitter the other day, and I follow a car person on there, and they were saying that because of the recession, obviously car sales are down. This is in the States, so obviously Canada's going to be very similar, but new car sales are down, and they were saying their kind of investment for the next year was car parts, in terms of like car manufacturer, like supply parts, and companies that supply parts to fix cars. There was a few of them in the States. There's some big ones, big distributors of parts, because their idea is if people aren't obviously buying new cars and or buying used cars, they're going to be fixing the ones they have more. So that's the kind of the thing within the recession. So people aren't going to be, their cars getting old. People are like their car gets to be 4 or 5 years old, and it gets 100,000 kilometers, and they go, oh, I don't want to fix it because everything's going to break. I'm going to get a new one, which is kind of the worst thing to do, because cars last a lot longer now. So they're saying car parts. Who knows? Could be the thing. But I don't get the car thing about buying a new car every four or so years. It's great, nice new car, but then you look at it, go, I got to pay this every month. I'd rather take the money and put it into a TFSA, and then just pay the odd bill that you have to pay your to keep your car maintained, because they last a long time now. I mean, I granted I don't drive every day either, so I don't have to do the commute thing. Obviously, more wear and tear on a car will cause it to wear out faster, but you know, if you keep your car oil changed, I think it will last. Replace the tires, replace the brakes, and keep everything up in the schedule. The dealer schedule I kind of go by for my car, and it seems to be all works okay. But it's not. It's just a regular little Mazda. So that's all. And so Hunter, what else is everybody buying here? We've got a few people, so I like to hear everybody's ideas on what they're getting. I'm not really looking at anything new. I keep putting stuff on my watch list, and I kind of research. I'm like, this looks great, and then I'm just like, no, let's just keep that off. Let's keep building what I have. That's my plan. Nothing really new going into the portfolio at all in the next little while. No real big plans. I mean, I have had my eye on individual like Google and Amazon, that kind of stuff, but I figured it's kind of covered by a lot of in the ETFs. So it's like, yeah, I'll just keep the ETF. It's kind of easier to keep track of, as opposed to what's going on with that. But that's just me. It seems to slowly now finally kind of been working, and then carry on with the status quo. Coffee is good today. Still early on the West Coast here on a holiday. Not looking forward to going back to work tomorrow, but that's okay. All right. Did anybody do anything exciting on the weekend? It was so hot. If you're on the West Coast, I don't know what the rest of Canada is doing, but it was too hot to even look. But we were in a heat wave that has finally cooled off today. Although it's still warm. You can see still red in the face. But and let's pull up. I think I shared this before. It's always hard to look. I did share the news, so I always kind of look at what's going on and with Yahoo. That was kind of my thing I was going to share, but I can't share because I have my spreadsheet shared. I can't reshare the screen, unfortunately. Sorry about that. So there we go. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll stick on a couple more minutes if there's more questions or comments. Love to hear them. And because I'm almost finished my coffee, which has to get filled up. Coming up on the channel, I will have obviously the same updates on video. So hopefully everybody enjoys those. I have done them on updated the portfolio on live stream. So I don't know if people enjoy that better, or you want more lives, less lives. Always open to let me know. It's kind of nice to jump on and kind of have a bit of interaction as opposed to commenting back and forth on the channel. I know a lot of people do leave comments, but it's nice to have an actual, back and forth with everybody. So yeah, that's exactly it. I'm not smart enough to do individual index funds. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. And it's not hot in Timmins. I have a friend I don't know all the areas. Sorry, I don't know the areas. Obviously, Ontario, I know where that is, but I don't know where Timmins is. I do have a friend, if you watch the channel, my buddy from Ontario, from Guelph on, Rob, he said it was a bit cool and breezy out there today. So maybe Timmins is the same. It's nice. It's nice. Look, as I look out the window here, it's a little bit overcast, and it's definitely cooler. So it makes it easier to sleep. It's good. Although I have a little air conditioner, so that helps. Sit in one room and stay cool. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with Vadim. No one's. I'm not smart enough. It's all a big. I don't know. There's no answer to that. It's just choose something you think is a good fit. And if I always kind of say to people, like, if they're not sure, I mean, like they said, the ETFs are great. Picking one that you want, or if you're really not sure, the Wealthsimple Invest section. If you fill out all your questions correctly, it'll put you in the right kind of mix. And if you put your the volatility that you're willing to kind of accept in your terms of growth and how much equities, you got to understand the basics. But I think you can't go wrong putting something into your to investing into your future, right? Even if you are really not sure, just put it in you don't want to just necessarily put it in a savings account, but there's nothing wrong with that either. It's better than, I kind of think of it, I look at I weigh things as I'm going to buy something. Do I go out for dinner, or do I cook dinner at home and put $40 into VDY? That's kind of how I look at my investment as we go and slowly do it. And then I've just picked the ETFs, and basically from kind of researching other channels, researching online, finding a good fit for me. There's some stocks, ETFs that, the Bitcoin ones, people think you're crazy for investing in that. I think for maybe 10 years, it's a great investment. Call me in 10 years. I could be wrong. Hindsight, right, is always 20/20, but there's nothing wrong with putting something in and starting. I wish everybody probably wishes they started earlier. So it's great to see, like, I know there's a few channels that I do follow where you see, like, I'm in my 40s, but you see younger people that are just starting out and they're starting at it, which is awesome. Even if you can afford to put $50, $25, $50 a month in something, sock it away, you'll be really happy. And yeah, Rob, so have a great week. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And it was our average. We were in the 30s over the weekend, which is too hot, and like no breeze or anything like that. It's just too hot. But in winter, the West Coast doesn't get the cold winters like that. All that being said, I used to live in Alberta, so I know what that's like. I remember going out minus 37, 42 wind, but that's not even, I think, with the wind, bundled up, everything covered, 2 coats. Yeah. Although the cold, I would prefer a little bit the cold. Like, I would rather go out, I think, bundled up at a minus 40 and sunny than like a roasting hot at night trying to sleep, but that's maybe just me. And it stays cold for a while. Yeah. The Alberta winters, I remember those. But the winters here are kind of lousy too. Lots of rain. If you've ever been to the West Coast, just lots and lots of rain. So we're coming up. We'll wrap up after about half an hour. I like to kind of jump on these for half an hour because we could ramble forever. But we've got quite a few people viewing today. I think this is probably my most viewed live stream, which is awesome. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll do more. Leave me a comment if you have, even anywhere on the channel, on the video. It's always hard to find the perfect time for a live stream. Like I said before, I'm probably not going to be scheduling them because this is just a little side thing for me to do, and it's a lot of work to have a certain set schedule, but I want to try and do more of these. So what you'll find, make sure on the channel, make sure you're subscribed, but also make sure that you've turned on that notification bell. Sounds like cliche, every YouTuber says this, but if you turn on the notification bell, you'll get notified when I do post a new video, number one, but also you'll get a notification when I schedule a live stream. It'll pop up and it'll say, hey, a new live stream is scheduled, so that you can actually click on it to remind yourself, and it will also give you a notification when I do go live. It'll pop up, so you can kind of, if you're on YouTube or somewhere, you'll get pop up. You can always jump in. Even if you jump in and say hi, it's always appreciated. And if I know a lot of the people watching follow some of the other YouTube channels, and there's a lot of us, which is great. So it's great that you support all of them, because there's it's definitely work to get these out. So it would be, if you're with those watching some of those other channel videos, make sure you turn on the notifications for them as well, because what happens, sidetracking from investment, what happens with YouTube is, you'll be watching something on an investment, so it's going to start to suggest videos to you. You'll see my channel, you see some other finance YouTube's channel videos, which is great. You'll be able to watch them. But what happens with YouTube, if you start searching other things, say you're looking for a brand new car and you're starting to research Hyundai hybrids, you'll start to get more videos for different things that you're currently searching for, and you'll see that coming through coming through your feed. So if you aren't subscribed, and even if you are subscribed, if you haven't, it doesn't necessarily push up those videos the same. It goes by the algorithm, you know, with YouTube goes more on what you're currently kind of into watching. So if you haven't caught a video from any of the investment YouTubers, definitely make sure you hit that notification bell. Then you'll get notified of new videos so hopefully do it on my channel, but do it for everybody else. It really helps them out. And don't forget, if you are watching this, there's everybody there can hopefully hit that thumbs up button. It does help out the channel. So there we go. Thanks, everybody. We'll sign off now. I appreciate everybody that joined on today. It was fun. Nice to share the dividends. Nice to have the best month. And a few other people, looks like they did have a great July as well. So hopefully this continues. We'll see when the market opens up again tomorrow. Until then, everybody, have a great rest of the long weekend. I'm going to finish my coffee. Hopefully you're sitting, relaxing, and can enjoy a coffee or something as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you in the next live stream and the next video.